Good morning, everyone. Welcome to what we like to refer to here at Namaste Village as our fake Silent Wednesday. That's what it's called by some of the people here. But we do try to have a day where there can be quiet reflection and really the willingness and the ability to listen, to not always need to be going like this, but to be able to listen to that still quiet voice at the heart, the very core of who we are. So it's nice to be able to take a day to be still and to not talk as much and to keep the common areas quiet, fake or not. So I'm very happy to have all of you join us within our fake silent day. And I think that willingness to hear, that willingness to listen and to be still speaks right to the core of our daily word lesson today. First of all, the word is illuminate. To know that that light within us is shining bright and to not hold back. I am a glowing light of love and peace in the world. So we're going to sing that, and today is our open forum day. So we're going to invite you all, instead of having us share so much, we're going to invite all of you to share as well. So let me go ahead and put this up on the screen. Okay, so we're just going to sing this line over and over. There are very few words to this, no verses, just this one line. I am a glowing light of love and peace in the world. Here we go. I am a glowing light of love and peace in the world. I am a glowing light of love and peace in the world. Join me in that. I am a glowing light of love and peace in the world. I am a glowing light of love and peace in the world. So the whole idea is for this one line to be reverberating through your heart and your mind today, so that you never forget that this is who you are, a glowing light of love and peace in this world. I am a glowing light of love and peace in the world. I am a glowing light of love and peace in the world. I am a glowing light of love and peace in the world. Yes, I am a glowing light of love and peace in the world. We're not going to hold back. Let's take it even higher now. I am a glowing light of love and peace in the world. I am a glowing light of love and peace in the world. I am a glowing light of love and peace in the world. I am a glowing light of love and peace and peace in the world, and peace in the world. I am a glowing light of love and peace in the world. At the apex of the prayer vigil chapel at Unity Village sits a cupola where light continuously glows, a symbol of the light of prayer shining out to the world and the loving faith of all who sit beneath it, holding others in prayer. It also represents the light that shines within me, the unfailing source of illumination that guides me. I too let my light shine. I hold others in prayer and affirm their highest good. I greet people with a friendly hello or a smile. Together we are radiating centers of light and love. Together we are radiating centers of light and love. I shine my light with every act of kindness and every breath of gratitude for the actions that bless me. As I let my light shine, I feel my connection with all the world. We are one in a family of divine love. We are one in a family of divine love. And from Isaiah, arise, shine, for your light has come, and the glory of the Lord has risen upon you. So let's sing that just a few more times. What are the words? I am a glowing light of love and peace in the world. Yes, I am a glowing light of love and peace in the world. I am a glowing light of love and peace in the world. I am a glowing light of love and peace in the world, and peace in the world, in the world. So let's just hold still for a moment and see if we can feel that glow, that light shining, that is always shining at the very center of our being. I hope you can feel that, because that's what this is all about, feeling it, not thinking it. So I'm just going to share just for a moment before we turn it over to the rest of you guys. One thing I wanted to share is I sometimes take liberty with the daily word, very small liberties, but liberties nonetheless. So the liberty I took today, you may have noticed in the the form that I had up on the screen. I am a shining light of love. And the words I am are capitalized. They weren't in the original, but I capitalize them because I want to make a point. It's not your identity or your thoughts about you that are the shining light of love and peace in the world. It's the I am presence within you. So when we say I am a glowing light of love and peace in the world, it's that presence within us, that light that defines us in the eyes and the heart of God. Not this identification, this smallness, this concept of a personality with a past, vulnerable, easily attacked, here but to die. That's not what is shining. What is shining bright in you is that presence, that eternal presence that we call the I am. You can call it the Christ presence, you can call it the Buddha presence, you can call it whatever you want. Words don't matter. But when you feel that, it lifts you above that identification that we have claimed, that smallness. It lifts us into the vastness of our true presence. And that's what's glowing. You know, a couple of weeks ago, we put up a picture of E.T. and we sang that beautiful song, Turn on Your Heart Light. I like that, you know, our heart glowing like E.T. Or many of you may remember the Care Bear stare. You guys remember that? If you're kids in like the 80s, I guess, because I was more of a kid in the 70s. We don't really remember that, but I think my daughter, I think, knows that. The Care Bear stare, where they just look at each other and their hearts begin to glow. It's that I am presence that's shining in us. Every moment, all we need to do is to remove the blocks that shield that. Because when we get down to that essential center and core, it happens on its own. So I don't want to talk too much. I want to open this up because Wednesday is our open forum day. It's the day when whoever wants to share can. But I do ask that we stay on point, that we talk about what this means to us, this glow of light and peace that's shining in us, that I am presence. Maybe you could talk about what that feels like, or if you have an example from your life in the last few days where you felt that happening and transformed the situation around you. So let's begin first here at our Namaste village. Is there anyone here who would like to come up and share anything? Yeah, you can come and sit up here. Do you want to come up? Come on up, Fran. All right. Fran is going to come up, and so you just come up here and watch the cord, Fran. And the mic.
Okay. I'm glad I put my makeup on.
So are we.
Oh man, that was bad.
That's what my sister says, Fran, comb your hair. You don't have to look at it, we do. When I landed in Marble Falls, Texas, I landed right across the street from a Catholic church, and I had not been going to the Catholic church. So I said, okay, God. So I found community there, not everything I wanted, but I remember how hard it was to go back to Mass as a single woman. I've always been single, but sometimes it seems very hard to see couples, giving each other the kiss of peace, and I stand there all alone and, wait till they're finished before I get a kiss of peace from somebody. But studying the Course, I remember several times that I would walk into church claiming exactly what we had talked about this morning. And it was almost like, I'm as tall as that 7-foot guy over there. I'm as tall as the priest. I'm as tall spiritually as anyone else here. And it was such a comfort. And one morning when I was struggling with this, or, working with it at church, all the couples were around me and everybody was giving the kiss of peace. Um, and so I was waiting till the couples got finished, and then I would turn around. Well, this tall, handsome Hispanic boy next to me turned immediately to me and gave me the sign of peace. And I thought, okay, God, thanks, But to keep that faith that I am a shining light. I don't think anything else works. I don't think anything else works but to claim that I too am a child of God. And then I can say that about you, and then the joy is there. And I'm grateful for the teachings. Thank you.
Thank you, Fran. And by the way, this is coming from someone who has done deep work and deep healing for a very, very long time. Do you mind if I share that one thing about you that I love? That I love it. Yes. No, I meant the fact that you were a nun for 20 years. And so that was a deep presence within you, and a beautiful, beautiful release. I'm sure going back to the church and finding that community was a place of deep healing for you. And then most of all, to find that light within you. I bet that was amazing. So thank you, dear. Anybody else here at Namaste Village want to share anything? Yes, Bethel, come on up.
Okay. Thank you. We talk here a lot about feeling, not just thinking about what it's like to be the light of God, but to actually feel what it's like to be the light of God shining into the world. And I just wanted to tell you a little story that happened to me just a few weeks ago. I woke up and I was still in that in-between stage, in between waking and sleeping. And the song kept going through my mind. In the quiet, I receive God's word today. And I was singing it in my mind. In the quiet, I receive God's word today. And all of a sudden, I was not a body anymore. I was not in a world anymore. I was in this place of peace and light and joy. And I just want to encourage you to keep trying, keep working at it, because it does work. Eventually it will happen. It won't be a theory anymore. It won't be an idea. It won't be your imagination. It's none of those things. It's an experience of peace and love and joy. And when you feel it, you can't deny it. You go back into the world, but it's not the same anymore. The world is different. And when you look at everyone, they look different too. You see the Christ. And I just encourage you to keep doing whatever you're doing, because whatever you're doing is right. And one day, boom, you'll just be there in the presence. And it's the most joy-filled, loving, peaceful place you can ever be. And I just want you to know that it will happen if you just keep on keeping on. Namaste. Thank you. Thank you.
You know, as I was sitting here listening to you, Bethel, I was recalling a dream that I had last night that I'll share quickly, because it does apply to this. I was somewhere, I don't know really, it was somewhere outside, and I saw Sylvester Stallone, and so I went up to him, and he was sitting, I think, kind of on a step, and I said, "Hey, Sly, man, nice to meet you. Could I have a selfie? I could take a picture with the two of us because my brother loves him and everything." And so he said, "Yeah, sure." So I sit down next to him and he puts his arm around me, and I gave my phone to someone to take the picture, but the phone froze and we couldn't get it to do anything. And so we kept fiddling with it. And the whole time, Sylvester Stallone kept his arm around me. And this must have gone on for 2 or 3 minutes. And he just sits there for 2 or 3 minutes, maybe more, while we're trying to fiddle with the phone. And I just felt this glow, this warmth, this strong masculine presence I'm sure that's what he represented to me, this strong masculinity, but glowing, this gift. And I remember all I could do is sit there and say, Rocky Balboa is my favorite Rocky movie. I said that to him probably 5 times. I said, "Okay, thanks." And he just sat there with his arm around me. So whether it comes to us from the embrace of that divine feminine, however we envision that, or the divine masculine symbolized by Sylvester Stallone, whoever it may be, just allow that glow, that contagious glow, to radiate between you and whoever it is that you're giving the kiss of peace to. Anybody else here at Namaste Village want to share anything? Okay, let's go to the Zoom room. Who out here? The thing to do, the easiest way for me to see you, there's a button at the bottom that says reactions. And if you click that button, you'll see a thing that says raise hand. So if you would like to share something, just raise your hand so I can see you and pick you out, and then you can just unmute. So who would like to share? Yes, Leslie, go ahead and unmute. We'd love to hear from you. You have to unmute, dear.
I have a great memory. It's just short. So at one point, a friend was traveling to where I was. And at one point, I had this feeling of dread that just came into my mind, specifically about her. And so I did something that I learned years ago in an Edgar Cayce group from people. I surrounded her with light and in my mind. And then as I did that, I felt a relief. And 20 minutes later, she showed up at the door and she was out of breath, excited to tell me something. She said, "You're not going to believe what happened to me." I said, "What?" She said, "I was driving along the highway and I must have nodded off because I woke up to the sound of a police siren and the lights flashing from his car. And she said she had started to drift off the road and the siren woke her up." And I said, "Really? How long ago did that happen?" And she said, 20 minutes ago. And that's when I felt that dread. So, that we can feel the light and send it to somebody else. I just thought that was pretty darn cool. Thank you.
Yeah, important point. This is a light to be shared, not to be held. Jesus said, you don't light a fire and put a bushel basket over it. You don't hide it. You light it on a hill so everyone can see it, so you can share it. That's a beautiful example of that, Leslie. Thank you. Storm, go ahead and unmute and go right ahead.
Hi, I'm talking to you from Greenfield, Massachusetts. And I wanted to share a couple of things. One is I often capitalize I and am because I had a teacher years ago who said, remember, whenever you call upon I or use am, you're calling on God. So I like that. And the other thing was I found myself taking the liberty with a different part of what we were singing, which was rather than singing, I am a shining light of peace and love in the world, I was singing beyond the world. Because as A Course in Miracles, of course, teaches us, the world itself isn't real. But if we can remember that we are the light beyond the world, then that is going to bring the light and love into the world.
Yes. Thank you, Storm. Beautiful. Yes, Linda, go right ahead.
Good morning, James and everyone.
Good morning, you and Chakotay.
Thank you. Just wanted to relate my first time of experiencing the presence and how that has uplifted me. I was going through a very difficult time in my life, and I woke up in the middle of the night wondering about how I was going to carry on being a single parent with 3 sons. And as I lay there in quiet, I felt this presence, this hand underneath me in my lower back. And I felt this warmth and I felt this lifting and this glow that stayed with me and reminded me that all would be okay. I'm never alone. And that presence of never being alone has stayed with me ever since. And it keeps reminding me, such as going through COVID time, that all challenges will come and go, but that presence will always remain and prevail. So that's my experience I wanted to share this morning. Thank you.
That's beautiful. Thank you, Linda.
Thank you.
Who else would like to share? Just go ahead and hit that raise hand button and I'll see you. Anyone else have an illustration or a thought or an inspiration on illumination? Today is Illumination Day. We are being illumined in that holy presence of I am. Anybody else? Vicky, are you out there? Do you have anything you'd like to share? You or Teddy?
Hi, Jimmy. Yes. Oh, thank you, James. Brother James. So nice to see everyone. And it's so inspiring and heart-filling to hear each one's message and experience. So all of you, thank you. Because when the message has been true and you relay it becomes an experience for all of us that we entrain to. So I appreciate it so much. But what I noticed when you were reading the Unity, Brother James, was that comment about the cupola being the center of the Unity Village. And as you're sitting there, I'm looking behind you at the painting. And what do you see but that same kind of, right, cupola light at Namaste and Ahihik. It was so timely and just such a blessed synchronicity of the joy of joining in light. And then I did come across this one little comment. It's a little quote from the Course, and it says, "Sit quietly and close your eyes. The light within you is sufficient. It alone has the power to give you the gift of sight." That's it.
No, thank you, Vic.
And thank you, Brother James. Thank you, everybody. I love you all. Thank you for sharing all your messages.
We
Thank
can't
you.
wait for you to come back to Namaste. People ask all the time, when is Vicky coming?
I'll check with JC Central today. We
Okay.
have yeah, thank you.
Thank you, dear. Hello, Renate, up in your room. Go ahead and hit unmute, and we'd love to hear from you.
Yes, good morning. I like to share some real miracle that happened to me here. I had an ongoing grievance with one person. It was really ongoing. And one morning when I went down the stairs or steps and she came up, it just
Oh, Renate, you still there? We can't hear you. I don't know if it's your internet. Oh, it might be mine. Hold on. Hold on, Renate. You may need to come down the stairs.
yeah, I came down the stairs and this person I had the grievance with for so long came up. And at that moment when I met her, a light flashed and I saw the Christ in her. It was so sure for me. I saw the Christ in her. It was thank you.
What is that beautiful line? The holiest place on earth is where an ancient hatred has become a present love. A present love. And that comes from just looking at each other and seeing each other as we are seen by God. To see the truth, to see the light, to see the Christ, to see whatever you want to call it. But to know that it is shining in all of us. And many of us have layer after layer of steel shields that block it, but it's still there. And my willingness to see it helps to dissolve all of those shields and blocks in my brother or sister and me, so that we are completely exposed and completely vulnerable. I think that's another big part of this, is complete unconditional vulnerability. To be so vulnerable, to just let our light shine and not to be protected. The ego or the identity within us wants to protect. Like, what if something were to happen to that light? What if someone were to attack me in some way? But Spirit is always calling us just to open wide and to be invulnerable in our vulnerability. I don't know if that makes any sense or not, but yes, Judy, go right ahead. Go ahead and unmute. You already did.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes, I was searching and I remembered in the mid 80s, I was under a hypnotic situation where I was suggested to go to a plane where I would see someone that I would really be happy to see, and this person would give me a gift. So, all right, fine. So I saw the plane, and then, yeah, I felt a being, and I was so drawn to this person. I started running with excitement. When I came face to face, I realized it was Jesus, it was the Christ. Wow, I shrunk right down. And this being bent down, picked me up and said, I so prefer it, heart to heart, something like that. And I just was held. So when I was listening to the stories, I was feeling inadequate and thinking, and then I recalled that incredible gift that I was given of being held by a being of light as an equal, as we are, as we play on our way to heaven. So thank you for the opportunity to share that,
Thank you, Judy. Just as I was held by Sylvester Stallone. And you look lovely, by the way. How about one more? Is there any one other person who would like to share anything, either here or on the Zoom? Anybody?
I would.
Okay, go right ahead, Devi.
Yeah, two things from the Jewish tradition, which was in which I grew up. First is Bethel. You probably know that that your name is a biblical name. It's two Hebrew words, Beit El, which means house of God. And you certainly embody that. And the other is when I read the Daily Word, and it talked about that light, that lamp, and which never goes out. That's the eternal light. That's the Ner Tamid in Hebrew, which is found in all Jewish temples. And the story of Hanukkah is that when the Greeks desecrated the temple in Jerusalem, there was only a tiny bit of oil in the eternal light, which could not have lasted for more than one day. And a great miracle happened. And the light burned for 8 days and 8 nights. And by that time, they were able to get more oil. And that's the story of Hanukkah. That's why we light candles for eight nights. And of course, that was the way I understood it as a child. And now that I'm a little bit older child, I understand it, of course, the greater meaning is that we are all, that eternal light burns in all of us eternally, and it will never go out. Shalom.
Shalom. Thank you, dear. And as you were speaking, I was asking the question, well, what is the oil within us that keeps that light burning bright? And the answer is love. It always comes back to love. That is what the divine is. That's what we are. Nothing more, nothing less. And the oil or the love that is within us is sufficient. It is all that we need. So thanks for reminding me of that. All right, let's take a deep breath. I am the glowing light of love and peace in the world. I am. So let's continue to feel that light, that glow, that holy, holy light that has been given to us to share, that has been given to us to heal, so that we may join with that glowing light within all of our brothers and sisters. Before we share our prayer of protection, I want to share a blessing, a song that I actually just recorded yesterday. And this actually comes from a little parchment that you can see when you go to Assisi in Italy, that St. Francis wrote to one of his closest companions, Brother Leo. He wrote this on a very small little piece of leather, and it's sometimes just called the prayer to Leo. But it's so beautiful, and so I want to leave all of you with this prayer. So let me share this, and then we'll go ahead and do our final prayer. Okay. So thank you, everyone. That was beautiful. Thank you for sharing. It's so nice to have a day when there are many different voices all pointing in the same direction, sharing the same light and glow. And I'm hoping maybe tomorrow night I have a dream where I'm embraced by some symbol of the divine feminine, maybe, Michelle Pfeiffer or someone like that, to balance out my Sylvester Stallone experience. He was pretty cool, though. I did enjoy Sylvester. All right, so let's go ahead and we'll share our prayer of protection. Let me pull it up on the screen. Oh, wrong one. Here we go. All right, here we go. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God
enfolds us.
the power of
of
God
God protects us.
the
The
presence
presence
of
of
God
God watches over us.
wherever
Wherever we are,
God
God is
all is well.
well.
So it is. Namaste, everyone. Have a blessed day. See you tomorrow.
Love
Thank
you
you so
all.
much.
Many blessings.
Thank you.